Hello everybody, welcome to another video on Peepaw EDC. Today we're going to look at another pocket knife, and this is a pretty popular one. It's been around for quite some time now. This is the QSP Penguin, and I got this knife maybe a month ago, and I wanted to get it to see what it was all about because it's a pretty popular one, and I just didn't know if it would be for me or not, but I was wrong. This is a pretty good knife. I really like it. There's one thing that I don't like very much that I'll get to, but overall it's a really good knife, and I can get around the thing that I don't like about it. So we've got D2 steel on this, and then we've got our QSP logo with like the flames, captive pivot, reversible pocket clip, and a lanyard hole. And the thing that's cool about this pocket clip is it goes down into the scales from the butt of the knife, so you have your screws sticking out from your scales, but your pocket clip is inside the scales. There's a bunch of different colors of this. The tier of knife that I got are all micarta, I believe, and it's the cheapest one. And I will say that for the price, which is like $33 ish, you can't go wrong with this. It is a very high value knife. Excellent cutting tool. This was a arm hair shaving sharp when I got it. I've used it, so it's not anymore, but it definitely was when I first got out of the box. So yeah, we got the micarta is rougher. Check out some other knives. I'm pretty sure it's like the roughest one I got. Kind of feels like yeah, I'm rubbing my knives here, sorry. It's kind of like I'm not gonna say sandpaper, but maybe a really fine sandpaper feel. So, and it's also got some pretty like pointy and like rough thumb studs, so this is gonna be a rougher knife to handle. So take that into consideration. But yeah, I think it's a great cutting tool. I really do. And speaking of knives, and I can see my viewing demographic on YouTube, and I know all male, 35 to 44 years old age range is watching this, so I know you're all wondering, Father's Day is next week. Get this if you don't know what to get your dad, or ask for it. It's an awesome knife. Anyway, enough babbling. Let's open this bad boy up. And we got a Warncliffe blade. And as I said, I actually use this one quite a bit so far, because it's just great for cutting stuff. This knife, like I said, this blade is, I mean, it's still pretty sharp, actually. I just used this for another go around here the last couple days at work, and it's still pretty sharp. So let's go ahead and get some size comparisons here. And I will say, the reason why I didn't buy this for the longest time was because I don't know how safe I would feel with a knife that didn't have any protection from slipping up on the blade. But closer I looked at this knife, it actually has this right here going on. But if you look at it from here, you can't really, I don't know. I never noticed it before, but, and it's also got a little, like that's where the stop pin goes in there. So it's got that on the blade too. Anyway, size comparisons. We'll do some longer ones first, and then we'll get to some more like smaller, normal 80 size knives. And this is like a normal size. So we've got the Olatan's G062 right here. So there you've got your sheep's foot and your Wharncliffe blades matched up. This is longer. I've used this one too, as you can tell. I use all my knives. I do have a couple brand new ones that I just got in today that I'm going to use for size comparisons, but those will be used. Don't worry about that. So there's that. And here we've got the CJRB Pyrite Light. There's another Wharncliffe for you. Trying to get the pivots lined up. They're kind of different sizes. So yeah, shorter than both of those knives. Like I said, I'm doing the larger ones first. And then I've got let's do this one next. Vosteed Raccoon with a top liner lock. Sorry, my family's watching the baseball game downstairs. And so that boy's longer. The infamous knife that broke the internet. The Ozark Trail knife. The original one. So there's that one. That one's longer too. So, and then I've got one more bigger knife, and if you've seen any of my other knife reviews, you already know what it is. You know what it is. It's the knife that needs adjusting. I haven't done it yet. This Sencut Sashi. I've got a review up of this knife and the Raccoon too on the channel so far, if you want to check them out. So there's the Sencut. This is not the biggest knife I own, but definitely on the bigger side. Okay. So there's that. Now we'll get to some smaller ones over here. And let's go these two first. Here's the Civivi Altis. And we've got the Civivi Elementum. So closer to the size of these ones. Bigger than the Altis, and looks like pretty close to the same size of the Elementum. The Elementum's got more like space, more free area for your hand in the back. This kind of dips in back here. But yeah, pretty close to the size of the Elementum. And then the two brand new ones, brand new to me, I should say, that I just got in today. The Kaiser Original. And the Vosteed Porcupine. Line those pivots up. Okay. So there's those ones. Pretty close to the same size as those two. The originals on the smaller side. So that's all those knives for you for size comparison. How's the action on this? Well, let's do the thickness first, actually. I actually don't think I've even looked at the thickness of this compared to other knives yet, but it's a little thin for my taste, but the more I've used it, the more I've gotten used to it, and it's fine now. Here's the sashi. We've got, the sashi's got some on it there, if you can see. Thicker on the sashi, and this is contoured micarta, so it's kind of harder to get a good read on the thickness, but oh yeah, it's definitely thicker. For sure, on the Olatan's Go62 here. CGRB is a thinner knife. There we go, it is thicker than the CGRB Pyrite Light. The Vosteed Raccoon. Let's get it. The raccoon's thicker. Focusing. I think, yeah. A little bit, not much. And the knife that broke the internet is thicker than the Penguin. Okay. And then the original. That wasn't a fart, that was the chair, I promise. The original looks like it's pretty close to the same size, maybe a little thicker. The Elementum, and this is the second iteration with a button lock. This is actually a pretty thick knife. Yeah, it's definitely way thicker. It's got like almost the scales on it. Yeah, this is a pretty thick knife. The Civivi Altus. It's also way thicker. And the Vosteed Porcupine. It's also thicker. So, like I said, knife's a little on the thinner side. A little thin for my taste, but the more I used it, the more I've gotten used to it. The action is pretty snappy on this. This does have bronze washers in it, phosphor bronze washers, so the it's pretty snappy on the deployment, but you have to like push it closed. I like to kind of whack it shut with my index finger like that. Just make sure your fingers are out of the way. But yeah, we got a liner lock on this guy. The lockup's pretty solid, like 40% looks like. And I will say that the harder you flip this out, you will get some lock stick when you go to unlock it, but it's not like really bad. It's fine. I don't know if you can hear that. Let me get a good one here. There we go. If you can hear this kind of stick a little bit. It's been worse than that, but that's just something to keep in mind. Like I said, the thumb studs are pretty pointy, and even though like this side the scales are pretty far away from the thumb stud, this side though they're kind of close. But because the thumb studs stand proud of the scales, they stick out right there, and it's pointy and grippy, there's no issue middle finger flicking this knife. So now the thing that I don't like about this knife is that pocket clip. Just look at that thing, like Mount Everest. That really sticks up out of the scales. Like, yeah. Here's the Elementum for reference. See how that kind of like ramps, goes back down flat a little bit. I haven't taken a close look at these pocket clips on these really. Some of them, yes, but there's the pyrite light. That one kind of ramps up too, but it's not near as bad as this thing. Yeah, it's a strong pocket clip though. I will say that. You have to pull this out of your pocket. It's not gonna fall out at all. And I wear thinner pants. I don't wear jeans if I can help it. I think they're extremely uncomfortable. But anyway, yeah, this pocket clip's like. Now, I will say though, hammer grip, you can feel it, but oh, there felt. Yep, there was a little bit of a hot spot. I just adjusted my hand and it really got me there. So that's something to consider. I mean, this is a cheap knife, so if you want to take the pocket clip off and throw this in your toolbox, absolutely. Yeah, and oh yeah, the milling. I don't have a flashlight here. I forgot to grab it, but there actually isn't any milling. If you can see the silver liners in there. There's no milling in this knife at all. But it's still pretty light because the liners and the micarta are both pretty thin. So, I mean, it's not like, I don't know. Porcupine's lighter. Altus is about the same. This has a milled tie clip on it, though. It's a little heavier than the Sashi. Pirate light's obviously gonna be light. It's in the name. It isn't as heavy as the old hands, so this one's heavier. Scientific weight test, obviously. It's about the same as the Raccoon. The Ozark Trail's lighter, and the original's heavier because it has aluminum scales. It's heavier than the Penguin. I'm just throwing my knives all over the place. Just why not? Just spread them all out. Let's get a nice knife collage going on here. We're having fun. We like to have fun. Yeah, so I mean, it's heavier than most of these, but it's not anything drastic. It's fine. So yeah. That's the Penguin from QSP. And I got this cheaper version. I actually thought that I wasn't gonna like it because I don't know. I just wasn't sure about it. I didn't have any knives like it. I was thinking about going with the more expensive button lock version with a flipper tab, but I didn't because this is like half the price, I think. And also, I've seen reviewers complaining about the flipper tab being pointy and uncomfortable. And I also am not big into flipper tabs anyway, so that's why I went with this. I've got the red micarta here. Like I said, they have a bunch of different colors. And I recommend that you buy it. Like I said, that pocket clip's just... And I briefly looked for a different pocket clip online, and I didn't see any. If anybody knows of any, please comment down below. Let me know. I'll probably buy it. Yeah. So, Father's Day gift? Maybe? Yeah, maybe. Or just a cheap knife to beat on. A beater knife. Even. A good beater knife at that. I mean, this thing cuts like crazy. Alright, that's enough rambling for today. Please subscribe and check out my other reviews. And we'll have some more content coming up in the future. Bye bye now.